The next tool we want to take a look at is what we call the group box. As we mentioned before, we can actually put radio buttons together in a group. The group box allows us to do that. We can group radio buttons into a single container. And what that means is if I have the radio buttons within a single group, only one radio button from that group can be selected. So when I create this group box and put radio buttons in there, only one of those radio buttons from that group can be picked. Now, what about the other radio buttons? Any radio buttons that are outside of the group box can be selected even if we have a radio button inside the group box picked. So the group box is just saying among this set of radio buttons, only one of these can be picked. If I have other radio buttons, I could pick any of those as well, along with the ones that are picked in the group box. In fact, it's very common to have applications where you would have several group boxes, each of them have different radio buttons, and within each of those groups, you would pick one radio button for each group. Here is a simple example of using a group box. So here we have 3 radio buttons. In fact, I think it's the same 3 buttons that we had in an earlier example. We have choice 1, choice 2, and choice 3. Now notice that choice 2 and choice 3 are in a group box. Here it's called group box 1. And if you look hard enough, you can actually see the box that surrounds radio buttons for choice 2 and choice 3. What this means is we can select either choice 2 or choice 3. Right now choice 2 is selected. If we were to select choice 3, then choice 2 would be unselected. So I can only pick one among choice 2 and choice 3. But notice that we could also select choice 1 at the same time. This is because choice 1 is outside of the group box, so we're allowed to select it even though we've already made our selection inside the group box. We'll now do an example of using the group box and see how we can click on things in the group box but still click on things outside of it. We're going to use the same example we did earlier in this lecture, but I'm going to add one more radio button just to help demonstrate how the group box actually works. So let's go ahead and add that radio button first. So we'll go to our toolbox. We're going to find radio button, so that should be right there. And then I'm going to move it down here, and then we'll change some properties with it. So I want to make the text choice 4, and then I want to make the name of it RB4. Oops, RB4. And then we'll go ahead and add an event handler for clicking on the radio button. So we'll click on our lightning bolt here, and we're going to go up to click. There we go. We'll double click, and then we have a sub procedure to handle clicking on that button. So we'll do the same thing as we did with the other radio buttons. So message box dot show your choice is 4. Okay, that takes care of that. So now we'll add the group box. So if we go to our toolbox, and we'll scroll up until we find group box. There it is. And I should mention, in order to move the group box, we have to put our mouse over the square here that has the 4 arrows. That's the only way we can actually move it. This is pretty large, so I'm going to shrink it down a little bit. And actually what I want to do is I'm going to add choice 3 and 4 into this group box. So we're going to put choice 3 in here. We'll put it right about here. So all we have to do is just click on the radio button and drag it into the group box, and then just automatically add it to it. We can do the same thing for choice 4. So I'm going to click and drag it over and add it to our group box. And if I move the group box, it moves choice 3 and 4. And I'm going to move it right about here. So what this does is now inside this group box, I can only pick between choice 3 or choice 4. I can't pick both, but I can still pick any of the radio buttons outside of this form. So let's run this and actually see this. So I'll click. And we're still going to get this message box for choices 1 because that's the default selection. That's fine. So now I need to bring the form up. Okay, there's choice 1. There's choice 2. Now let me click on something in the group box. So if I click choice 3, we see that our choice is 3, but notice that we still have choice 2 selected. This is because we can make selections in both places. So I can choose 4 and choice 2 is still selected, I can pick choice 1. Here we see we have 1 and 4 selected. Here we have 2 and 4 selected. So the whole point here is with the group box, I can put whatever radio buttons I want in there, and only one of those radio buttons can be picked. But if I have any radio buttons outside of the group box, I can pick one of those radio buttons along with the radio button in the group box.